A word the Lord has me give to nations wherever I go, and when I speak with government leaders all across the world, is the place of honoring Israel. Not because you're honoring Jews, not because even you're honoring Israel. In some way, you're like, why? Why? Does he prefer a certain nation, a certain people? It's really about honoring God. Honoring Israel is about honoring God. And when we get that, it changes our whole processing as it relates to it. We stop asking a lot of questions that we don't need to ask, and we stop having to process minutia that really is not important. He says, if you will bless Israel, he who blesses Israel, I will bless. If you curse Israel, I will curse. We see that playing out across the nations. We saw the president of Venezuela, Hugo Chavez, when he made this declaration, say, I curse Israel from the depth of my entrañas, which the word in Spanish means my intestines. And literally down where he was putting his hand, within 24 hours, intense pains began to come in his body. And he developed this rarest form of cancer that took him out. And you're like, he kind of just cursed himself by going in the direction that he went. And I believe that there's a scripture that essentially says, Israel will be my anvil, and by which I will judge the nations. And an anvil, there's metal, and you beat out metal on an anvil, and you form even the metal on an anvil. So a nation's relationship, their posture towards Israel, is what causes them even to be determining what their future is going to be about. The scripture talks about sheep nations and goat nations. And you can see that there's just no way you're going to be part of a sheep nation if your nation is one that's disrespecting the very nation that God says we have to honor in some way. Now, there can be questions on how we honor them, how we respect them, but it has to at least enter into the whole processing of nations, those who lead nations, those who lead churches, those who lead denominations, those who lead any kind of thing that's a spiritual ministry. You better have some way of honoring God in his posture and his positioning in the scriptures that he himself has allowed to be released, both Old and New Testament, as to the call of Israel and their role of being those that will be telling a story of restoration